We live in a world where we're constantly glued to our phones, scrolling through social media, binge watching videos, or checking notifications. But have you ever stopped to wonder, is all this screen time actually good for us? How is it really affecting our lives, our relationships, and our minds? Hi, we are the Group 1, and today we're hitting the streets to find out what people really think about their relationship with technology. We'll be asking random people questions about how much time they spend online, how it makes them feel, and whether they think they could ever live without it. It's going to be eye-opening, raw, and maybe even a little uncomfortable, but that's exactly what we need to start an honest conversation. Technology companies often design platforms to exploit psychological vulnerabilities using techniques like infinite scrolling, push notifications, and addictive algorithms. These practices prioritize profit over users' mental health, fostering compulsive behavior and addiction.
Ako personally, I think yes po. Kasi napag-aaralan din naman namin siya when it comes to marketing, ginagamit din siya ng mga business. So, since nakikita sa mga statistics na laging hook yung tao sa social media, ginagamit din siya as a platform for advertising ng mga ano. Since nakikita na yung mga tao laging nandun nakababad or mostly sa atin ngayon, doon na laging nanonood or gumagamit ng app.
Para sa aming mga advertising students, importante rin na kailangan ma-hook yung mga audience natin, yung mga target natin. So, yes, I can say that apps are made to be hooked, to be entertained.
Yes, of course. We all know naman po, aware naman tayo na meron silang kinikita dun syempre. So, bukod sa para sa like communication or interaction with other people, syempre parang ginagawan talaga nila yan ng way para ma-keep yung mga tao na maging interested sa kung ano yung content ng social media.
Opo, nararanasan ko po kasi kapag mga typical days po, nag-scroll po ako sa Facebook and parang may feeling of satisfaction po na nasusustain po yung entertainment purposes po ng mga social medias po. And at first po nagigilty talaga kasi ang dami pong nasasayang na oras sa pag-scroll. Pero ewan ko, parang may urge walang urge na mag-stop kasi na-entertain nga gano'n.
I think okay lang na mag-scroll lang ng mag-scroll kasi merong mga apps na pwede mong gamitin for productive things like yung Duolingo. Alam niyo yung Duolingo. Kahit more on tap on screen lang po and scroll and you can learn other languages which is really good po sa panahon natin ngayon.
Yes din po kasi like scrolling on social media is like much easier than to do your homework or like review and stuff. So some people including me are hooked into doing something na mas comfortable and mas easier to accomplish rather than to do the hard stuff. So, yes.
For me naman, ayun nga, since tulad sa first question is kung yung apps ba are meant to hook, I think yes, kasi parang ngayon sa second question naman, yun nga, dahil nahuhook tayo, hindi na natin napipigilan na minsan scroll lang tayo, whether TikTok pa yan, Facebook pa, minsan sa YouTube, kahit mahaba, pinapanood natin. And hindi kasi maiwasan din sa students mag-procrastinate. So, pag yun, nagpo-procrastinate tayo, sabi, ay, scroll lang ako saglit, tas gagawin ko na. Pero ang ending, nag-scroll ka na buong araw.
Apps and social media platforms are intentionally designed to keep users hooked. As confirmed by the respondents, their features, algorithms, and content strategies are built to captivate attention, making these platforms essential for marketing and advertising. This engagement benefits businesses and entertains users, creating a cycle of dependency. Respondents admitted experiencing moments when they couldn't stop scrolling, driven by satisfaction and procrastination, despite feelings of guilt about wasted time. Some also recognized the productive use of certain apps, but most highlighted how addictive scrolling habits interfere with their responsibilities.
Excessive digital use is linked to anxiety, depression, sleep disorders, and social isolation, especially among younger users. Companies rarely take responsibility for these consequences and often fail to implement meaningful safeguards.
Parang nagigilty kasi wala ka pong hindi mo po ginamit yung time mo productively. Ganun.
Actually, somehow, kapag sobrang invested na ako sa social media, parang somehow it actually messes up my emotional kasi yung na-absorb kong information, parang hindi talaga siya parang kailangan ko ng break from that. Siguro, one of the example neto is pandemic. Sobrang dami nangyayari, sobrang magulo, lalo na yung gobyerno. Parang somehow, it messes up my mental health and my emotional health din also. Parang yung social media din kasi naging entertainment ko. At the same time, yung social media din yung sumira sa akin during that time.
Ako personally, ayun, like what I've said earlier, minsan meron talagang mga balita na it doesn't matter kung negative or positive siya. Kasi either way, na-affect niya ako emotionally. For example, may chika, ganyan. So parang minsan yung mga tao, kapag may nakikita sila na ganyan, whether positive nga or negative, like parang sila, parang kapag positive, nakiki-hype up sila, ganyan, pero kapag negative, parang iniisip nila na everything applies na same dun sa kung ano yung nangyari na yon. For example, merong mga trends din ngayon. So, parang dahil nga dun sa masyado siyang nagiging hype up dun nga sa social media, parang ina-expect ng mga tao na kung ano yung nandun sa trends na yun, ayun na lang lagi susundin ng mga tao na yun. Which is like parang hindi na siya ideal para sa atin since meron din naman tayong life outside social media.
Yung social media, bukod sa quick escape siya, minsan siya din yung nagdudulot sa'yo ng anxiety, lalo na yung mga comments ng mga ibang tao, mga cyberbullying na ganyan. Kasi yung at some point parang imbes na siya yung maging quick escape mo, para sa ibang tao naman, siya yung nagiging dulot ng pagkakaroon ng anxiety at depression mo.
Nung pandemic kasi, like, naging source din siya ng entertainment ko. Ang dami ko na-discover sa sarili ko sa pamamagitan ng social media. But katulad nga ng sinabi ko is, ayun nga, parang sa mga napapanood mo, hindi mo maiwasan na i-compare yung sarili mo. So, dumating din sa point na parang nade-depress na ako kasi hindi ko ma-achieve yung gusto ko ma-achieve sa katawan ko. And parang ma-isolate ka din kasi imbes na kausapin mo yung family mo, yung friends mo doon sa labas, like, scroll ka lang ng scroll. And then yung social media, kinakain ka na paunti-unti.
The interview responses reveal that excessive time online, particularly on social media, can significantly impact emotional well-being. Participants reported that their moods are influenced by the content they consume, with some feeling guilty about not using their time productively. Several respondents also experience anxiety or depression linked to their online use. One noted isolation during the pandemic, while another struggled with social comparison, leading to feelings of inadequacy and depression. A third respondent felt anxious reading negative comments about themselves online. Overall, the responses highlight the emotional toll of social media, emphasizing the need for mindful online usage to protect mental health.
Digital addiction disproportionately affects vulnerable populations, including children, teens, and those with pre-existing mental health issues. These groups are more susceptible to harm, yet protections and regulations are often insufficient.
Siguro, mature na, I think 17, 18. Yeah.
For me, siguro mga 10 years old. Mga 10 years old, oo. Kasi iba yung effect ng ng mga phones or gadgets sa unang-una yung mata ng bata. Yun ang unang-unang maapektuhan. At saka kumbaga parang yung mahabang gamit nila ng ng gadgets is parang nahati yung time nila sa family. For me, napaka-risky. Risky lalo na sa mga young ones. Kasi sobrang yung mga links, especially yung mga links na medyo pang-adult. And yun nga, maraming violence din, tsaka nakakatakot kasi ang dami ng mga source ng hacking, yun nga, yung mga phishing or something na napaka-negative na sa mga bata. Yun. Basta yung mga hindi pa allowed na mapanood nila, medyo available na. Basta di ba? Yun nga yung medyo risky sa kanila.
Yes.
Ano po kaya yung parang process
Kasi trending. Actually, simula nung pumasok yung ganito, yung sa mga digital, parang na sila, na-impress sila na okay to. Unlike before, yung kabataan namin, wala pa niyan. So, parang sila, excited. Siguro sa pangaral na rin ng magulang or maybe hindi naman din minsan sumusunod Kasi nga pag nasa school na sila, parang pag hindi ka naman gumamit ng ganyan, para ka naman, di ba, out of place. So, I think, depende na rin sa kanila. O, depende dun sa mga bata.
Una-una, syempre yung parents, tsaka yung mga older siblings sa mga young ones. Siguro sa kanila na mismo magmula, maging example sila na gumawa sila ng any activity or diversion. For example, mag-movie date sila or mga sports or basta any diversion na pwedeng i-malesen yung yung pagka-addict nila sa gadgets. Sa social media, I mean.
Respondents suggested that children should start using gadgets at an age ranging from 10 years old to 17 and 18 years old, emphasizing the importance of maturity and minimizing health risks like eye strain. They agreed that young people are more vulnerable to digital addiction due to their curiosity and exposure to inappropriate content and cyber threats. To mitigate the negative effects, they stressed the importance of parental guidance and offering alternative activities such as sports or family bonding to lessen reliance on gadgets, ultimately fostering discipline and awareness in young users is crucial.
Digital addiction contributes to larger societal issues such as reduced productivity, strained relationships, and the normalization of constant connectivity. This affects harm not just individuals, but also communities and cultures.
It's a case-to-case basis kasi I know some people na usually ginagamit nila yung social media to reconnect with their friends or like to converse with them. Usually, isa sa ginagawa ko na that helped me stay close with my friends from other schools kasi malalayo yung schools namin from each other, and also yung schedule ganun may conflict. So mostly talaga ng medium namin of communicating with each other is through social media, let's say Discord ganun. Kahit wala kaming ginagawa, nandun lang kami para at least kapag may sasabihin kami sa isa't isa, nasasabi namin ganun. And yun lang, yung presence ng friends ko, kahit hindi kami face-to-face nagkikita. The fact na nakikita ko sila through a screen also helps me reconnect with them. And also, may mga tao naman na mas nagiging distant sila with their family and friends since they use social media or their devices as an escape. For example, masyado silang immersed sa sarili nilang mundo. So again, it's a case-to-case basis.
I believe it made us more distant po kasi. So sa mga, kunyari po, for example, kapag natatalo na po yung game natin sa league or sa Valo, syempre po, di po natin may iwasang man-trash talk eh. Kasi nabibwisit ka sa kampi mo, kaya sa kalaban eh. Kaya I think it made us distant po, more distant.
Ayun, nabanggit ko naman na kanina na kahit malayo ako sa kanila right now, nagiging connected pa rin ako sa kanila, which is a good thing. Pero siguro nung mga younger days ko, naapektuhan niya ako in a much negative or like worst way kasi nga parang hindi pa ako intelligent na social media user before. So parang naniniwala ako sa kung ano lang yung sinasabi ng mga tao na sa internet, ganyan. Tapos parang nagiging rebel ako kapag against sa kanila yung opinion ko, which is nabago ko naman na siya ngayon.
It actually helped my relationship with my friends and families din. Kasi nga, with the use of social media, parang naging means of communication din sa amin. Lalo na sa pamilya ko. Kasi may GC kami ng pamilya ko. Tapos, doon kami nag-uusap-usap, lalo na kapag hinahanap na yung ate ko, kami inuutos sa yung nanay ko na papabilin. Kaya parang somehow, yung etong social media, parang naging helpful talaga siya sa amin, lalo na sa pamilya ko. Kasi, ayun nga, nagkakaroon ng communication between us.
It made me more secluded po or more lonely. Kasi nga po, kakagamit po ng mga gadgets po. Lalo na, nakafocus lang po yung time ko sa computer. More on playing po kasi ako. Kaya di na po nakapag-spend time ng more quality time with my friends and families po kasi.
Ayun, pagdating sa family ko, naka-help naman siya. Kasi ngayon, sa yung mga joke ko na ang daming reference sa online, nagagasa rin ng tatay ko, tapos ng mama ko. So, siya, like parang yung bond is parang, yung humor din, nagkakatagpo na somehow. Kasi nga, gumagamit na rin sila sa social media. So, yung gap namin, like yung generational gap, is nami-meet. Kasi nga, nakapag-social media na rin sila. So, ayun lang. Pero pagdating sa mga kapatid ko, like, sila kasi ang nilalaro nila, like Roblox, yung mga ganun. Tapos, nag-Facebook na din, Diyos ko. Hindi na namin makausap. So, kami ni na mama, okay kami kasi matatanda na, nakakapag-usap na, nakakapag-chat na. Pero yung mga kapatid ko, parang nagkakaroon ng gap. Kasi nga, tutok na sila sa social media and then sa app na nilalaro nila. Tapos yung parang yung family time nababawasan kasi mas gusto na lang nila maglaro tapos makipag-usap online kasi sa amin.
Social media has both positive and negative impacts on relationships, whether it is family, friends, or a community. On the positive side, participants tell us that it helps them stay connected, share life updates, and even reconnect with old friends, which strengthen bonds despite physical distance. How new and old generations appreciate its easy access for communication. However, other participants have felt its negative impacts, like excessive use of social media reduce the quality of face-to-face interactions, create misunderstandings, and lead to unhealthy comparisons. It may bring other people closer together but created its downsides as well. Ultimately, social media will always have its pros and cons to each individual, so maintaining a balance between online and real-world interactions is best. Using social media to nurture healthy, meaningful relationships in the digital age.
In today's digital age, social media is integral to our lives, offering connectivity and information, but at a cost. These platforms are designed to keep us engaged, often leading to wasted time, disrupted routines, and decreased productivity. For many, the emotional toll is significant, with curated content fostering feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and depression. Privacy concerns are also rising as platforms collect personal data, leaving users with limited control. Younger users are especially vulnerable, facing risk to mental health and academic performance. While social media has benefits, its downsides demand mindful use, privacy connection, and a focus on mental well-being.